Foundations TV, everybody. We are here with a special guest all the way from Mumbai. His name is Major Ashok Kaul. And as the name suggests, he has a wonderful background all the way from the Indian Army. And that's what's very fascinating. I know his whole life is full of fascinating stories, and we will go to each of those stories one at a time, but we will begin with your background. First of all, welcome to Boston, welcome to Foundations
Thank
TV.
you very much. Thanks a lot.
And secondly, we'd love to start off with your background in the Army. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I got commissioned in the Army in 1969 and had the great honor of fighting the 71 war. And that too in Kashmir. I was posted in Uri sector during the 71 war. And the greatest thing that happened was that I was fighting on the border, which was apart from India, I'm an Indian. Apart from that, I was fighting at a border which is my Kashmir, the roots of my ancestrals. And that gave me more strength to fight as a young captain. That gave me that strength that yes, not only I'm defending India, I am defending the land of my forefathers.
I see that pride even now when you talk about it.
Anytime I can go back and fight again.
Wonderful, wonderful.
That's been journey from my army, and of course I spent almost 15 years in the army.
Wow.
And had various postings all across the borders of India.
Fantastic.
From north to east. That's how each army officer in his journey in the army does.
Yes.
That's how we dedicate our lives to the country.
Yes. And you're dedicating your life in a different way now. You are a filmmaker. So tell us how that transition happened. That's a very interesting combination.
Gauri, this is something something very interesting I'd like to tell you. I was posted in a place called Rampur, which is very near to Haji Pir.
Yes, I'm familiar with that area actually.
And I was a young captain sitting in my office, and there were no officers around there at that time. And suddenly my orderly comes and knocks the door. He says, Raj Kapoor has come.
Oh.
And well, I was doing something very important. And normally mornings and afternoons we send the situation reports that's happening in the borders. And I told him to wait for a while, make him sit.
But you didn't have any doubts who Raj Kapoor was. It could have been any other Raj Kapoor, but the filmmaker Raj Kapoor.
The way my orderly said, I couldn't make out that who
it's
was
a
that.
Filmmaker Raj Kapoor. Okay.
And I forgot for a while. I was involved in sending messages.
Yeah.
Suddenly there was a knock on the door again. So Mr. Raj Kapoor
walked in. Oh my God.
So I got up, received him. So he said, I want to go to that border from where you can see Pakistan, where there are no Amar Setu has been made. So can it be possible for me to travel to that place? That area came under command. Now, normally I would have, as a captain, given permission to anybody, since he was a celebrity and it was a sensitive area.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to tell him that I am not capable of giving you the permission.
Sure.
So went to next room, called my higher authorities.
Yeah.
I said, look here, Mr. Raj Kapoor has come, and he wants to visit that command. They call it command post, and should the permission be given?
Yeah.
So he asked the general there, the divisional commander, and the ADC called me back and said, all right, I give him permission, but I think either you go along or detail some other officer to go. Since I was the only officer around there at that time, so I decided to take him in my own junga right to the border. And then the Pakistanis came and started waving at him, Raj Kapoor, Raj Kapoor.
Oh wow, yeah.
They had a post very close to that command post, the other side. That's the time, when there's a bridge, old bridge there, from where those days the UN observers used to cross. Now, of course, the Amar Setu has been made there. So they started waving at him, Raj Kapoor, very happy to see Raj Kapoor there.
Yeah.
And after that, then they asked him, can we see one of your films? Pakistani, they asked.
Yeah.
All right, I'll send one film and we'll show you on the screen.
Okay.
They will be excited to see
of course.
Raj Kapoor.
Yeah.
So on my way back, when we reached the officer's mess, he said, I said, can I offer you some cup of coffee or tea? So when we went to the mess, and there somebody, one of my colleagues had by the time come, he said, Mr. Kaul is writing something on the war. And he said, what are you writing? I said, I am writing something what gives the strength to a young man to give life for the country? A fiction. He said, what is the outline? I just gave him a small outline. He took out some money.
Oh, okay.
He said, this thought is mine.
Oh, wow.
I said, sorry, sir, it's not possible. I have not yet got it cleared from the my own department. I can't do like that. But I can take 100 rupees. So I took 100 rupees from him. He said, I'll make a film out of it.
Oh,
So that was the contact point between him and me.
wonderful.
After that was 1976. In 1976, 77, he announced the film called Param Vir Chakra.
Okay.
Did the muhurat of that.
Oh, wow.
Anil Kapoor was to be introduced in the film industry with that film.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And unfortunately, that time I was called as a consultant for the film since I had written the script of the film. The governments changed and the permissions were not given to him to the war portion of it.
Uh-huh.
He was rejected.
Oh.
So was I.
Yeah,
That's something which I
of
wrote. And then another time I get another telegram. Please come to Mumbai. So I came to Mumbai on a casual leave. We went to Goa. So there was a film called Sea Wolves being made with Gregory Peck and Anthony Quinn and all that. So Raj Kapoor went and met the director and the producer of the film and asked him, I wanted to make a war film. How much will it cost to make the? In fact, Randeep Kapoor also was there. How much will it cost for the cost of the film in terms of the war effects and all? Well, the budgets were very high, so the film was shelved, and I went back. Then 1983, I became part of RK Studios, and that time, Henna, this Teri Ganga Maili was released. So I headed the studio and production of the film, and then we wanted to make Henna after the successful, film called Teri Ganga Maili. It was big film, big hit. Henna, Raj Sahab recorded a couple of songs. That time we went to Kashmir because it was a Kashmir-based subject.
Yeah.
And we met the Gujars and all those kind of research we did. After that, Raj Sahab came back. Unfortunately, he died. Then Randeep Kapoor directed the film. So after that, I asked them to, all right, let me begin for something. So I said, can I make Param Vir Chakra? Raj Sahab had announced it.
By the time you had left the army?
No, I
then,
was out of the army.
Yeah.
Once I joined RK
You were at
Studios,
that point
I
you had left.
I had
Okay.
taken premature retirement from the army.
Makes sense. Okay.
So, well, I took up this challenge of making the film I wrote for Mr. Raj Kapoor and was able to complete and release the film. That was, I think, a great tribute I could give it to Raj Kapoor, my association with him.
And that was an award film, a winning film.
It got several awards. In fact, it got the National Award of Special Duty Award, and it got Best Story Award, Screen Video, Salam Bombay Awards.
Nice.
And
very nice.
It was also to America. It was also invited by Cancer Society of America for fundraising in America.
Oh, nice.
American Cancer Society. So that was my journey in the initial years from transition from the army to films.
Yeah.
Of course, I made films after that, but this was the transition.
Do you see any similarities in the two different lifestyles as an army person and as a... Of course, the word shoot is common in both, like you said.
See, apart from that, you from yourself in media, you will realize that there's a lot common between an organization that the films or the media has and also filmmaking. Every individual is very important, whether it is a lightman, whether it's a cameraman,
it's a team effort, absolutely.
It's a war thing.
Yeah.
Like you on the sets, you're like war deadlines.
True.
A similar sort of thing. Well, of course, the army is exposed to dangers of life. Here you're exposed to only intensity of light.
So when you work as a filmmaker, and of course you have an entire team working with you, do they feel a little level of are they afraid of you because of your background, because of your discipline, or?
Param Vir Chakra, yes.
Yeah.
Param Vir Chakra, yes. There was. In fact, Henna Malini worked with me in that film. There were a lot of big. Syed Jaffrey worked with me, and Syed Jaffrey was working that time in England. It was a very big star.
Yeah.
So I had given a role of captain of ship Vikrant. You know, we had INS Vikrant.
Uh-huh.
So during the war, he was the captain of the ship.
Uh-huh.
So he used to always salute me. He
Yeah.
says, "You look, yeah, you're a real major. I'm just a captain of the ship acting." So yes, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah,
In
yeah.
those first film, yes, that was army discipline.
Nice, nice. So, do you have any like fond memories of Raj Kapoor?
I have several. You know, I don't think it can be. I cannot express that in this short talk. In fact, I am already on verge of writing my journey with Raj Kapoor. And one thing I like to tell to you and the viewers: Raj Kapoor was a great man, a great human being, and he had lot of intensity of human relationships.
Which showed in his films too.
Which showed in his
Yeah.
films and
The depth
in his
and
personal life too.
emotion and-
In
yeah.
personal life. I'll give a small, example. We were shooting a place called Aru in Teri Ganga Maili. I was new to film industry, and a lot of responsibilities were put on me.
Yeah.
And there was something to be attended at Srinagar, so I went there, and it took time for me to come back. I think I reached back about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And Aru is about, it's from Pahalgam, it's 1 hour journey in the very beautiful foothills of the mountain, those ranges, they're very nice. I saw some outside the hotel, there was only one hotel there. There was a little fire lit. Rajji was sitting there with one of the chaps who used to attend to him. And at 4 o'clock I saw him. And when I reached, he says, "Itna time laga diya aane mein?" I mean, then I realized he was just waiting. What happened to this man? There was no communication those days, cell phones. So I realized that not only that man has that intensity of, he was fearing what happened to this man. So that gave me a lot of, insight of his emotional self.
Right, and the attachment.
Yeah,
and-
that's true.
Interesting, interesting. So your association with Kashmir, is that taking you in a certain direction right now?
You see, let me tell you very frankly, my association with Kashmir was, is, and will remain always there. That is land of my forefathers,
Yeah.
come what may.
Yeah.
My approach is typical straightforward army man. I will not give up my land forever,
That's how it should
come
be.
what may.
That's how it should be.
Come what may. In my
Very
lifetime, whatever I can do, and still I don't feel that anybody can snatch land from me, whatever the situation may be. I'm sure my people who have been doing this kind of campaign, they're very committed people, and they're doing this sort of for our community, and that's tremendous work. And I think the world should support this kind of thing. What has happened to Kashmiri Pandit community? I will look at it from a filmmaker. More I look at it from the army man. That no, whatever it is, that land belongs to me, my forefathers,
Yeah.
and nobody can snatch. I'll reiterate again
Yeah.
in all my forms, in all my emotions, and come what may, let the world support us.
Yeah.
I'm sure the world community one day will realize what has happened to such a. So I would say the community which gave a lot of intellect to the world. Aryabhat is from Kashmir. Kashmir has been a great source of intellectual energy,
Yes.
spiritual energy,
Yeah, yeah,
which
absolutely.
which people have not understood till today. So having said that, I'm sure. I mean, I never become so emotional, but something I don't know. Have still the army style of my thinking, but yes, when it comes to Kashmir, I'm very emotional.
So, as a filmmaker in India, especially, and Indians across the world, they relate to films and they get influenced by Bollywood films a lot. And with this emotion that you have to share, do you think you're at a position where you can be an influencer in this particular? Are you thinking of making a film on Kashmir? I guess that's.
Gauri, you're very right. Let me be very practical, very straight with you. Bollywood now has emerged into a different genre altogether, where now these kind of things can be highlighted. Earlier, it was basically dancing around various lakes and gardens of Kashmir, showing the beauty of the Kashmir. Now is a time when we can pick up this issue in a different way.
Right.
In fact, I'm penning down the story, which doesn't relate to only the Kashmiri Pandit aspect. I'm penning down a relationship between a military man and a young boy of Kashmir. I'm cutting across no religion involved in it. Because not only we want to guide those people who have gone astray in Kashmir, we want to give them a different vision of Kashmir. We want to give them a light of Kashmir. We don't want them to really go back to past and what they have done to repeat that in future. I'm sure the kind of films that we'd like to make now would be to not
More
only
impactful, yeah.
that's the kind of
Yeah.
thing
That's
it
good.
should come.
Yeah, that's good. That is very true. Of course, you know, like you said, Bollywood can make a huge impact.
Yes.
And in your position, your background, and you can use all those different channels. Now, speaking of channels, you've also worked in the animation field, which is kind of interesting. So I know we don't have much time, but maybe a minute or two about
I'll
that.
give you quickly.
Yeah.
You know, when my film Param Vir Chakra was invited here
Yeah.
in America, I was invited by John Canmaker, who is an Academy Award winner, who was heading the test film school in New York University. So while he asked me to talk to the students there, one of the students asked there that Bollywood and Hollywood Bollywood and Indian films make about 800 films every year. Why so far animation films are not made? I said, I'll make one.
Okay.
Gauri, I didn't know the
Yeah.
spellings of animation, to be honest. And that was in my mind. I went back, and during one of the parties, I met Mr. Subhash Chandra, owner of Z. And I told him about this, and he said, why not? Let's do. So we took up a challenge of making an animation film. And that time, there was not even one animator in this country.
Yeah, it's a very
In
rare
India,
thing.
there was
to
not.
hear,
And
yeah.
making a animation feature film was something which,
Nobody would dare to do.
so with the help of Mr. Subhash Chandra, who had established an institute called ZICA, Z Institute of Creative Arts, we trained almost about 400 to 500 animators for about 4 years.
Wow.
Then
That's some
out of that,
dedication.
I selected about 260 people
Really.
to work on a film. Still, we could not find a way.
Yeah.
I came here to meet Walt Disney, came here to meet DreamWorks to see how we can do it, but the budget they gave us too much.
Yeah.
Then, of course, we started making, and we thought, let's make a live and animation film. So Tabu played the Tabu, Henna was there, Milan Soman. 1 hour of the film is live action, and 1 hour and 40 minutes is animation. So we blended the two mediums, like Hollywood film called Avatar.
Yeah.
So that was and based on this film was based on a shloka of Gita and Albert Einstein's theory of relativity.
I'd love to watch it someday.
Sure, it's
Yeah, that's fantastic. I really enjoyed my conversation
very
with
much.
you. It was great pleasure meeting you, and we wish you all the best
Thank you.
for your upcoming
you.
projects
Thank
and for the future as well.
Thank
You're
you,
doing great
Gauri.
work.
God bless
It's
you.
nice to chat
Thank
with
you very much.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot. Bye-bye.